Hi, welcome to this video of PowerShell training. In this video, we will learn about the usage of functions and PS objects. Let's open our previous script to get the service status details. In this script, we coded to have multiple actions executed on multiple objects. So let's create a function called service details, put it into curly brackets. Now this function needs to be executed on remote computers, so we create a parameter, and this time I will use a different variable name. Then let's get the column names which we need: computer name, service status. Let's write it down. Computer name, maybe status of that computer, if it is online or offline, and service name and service status. Let's create a PS object for this one. With the syntax @PS custom object and curly brackets. Now for computer name, it will be same as the name of computer that we will pass as parameter. The status, for now let it be online. I will explain you how we can do this later on. For service name, we used this command. Let's use that. And the service status, let's use this command. Okay, in PS object we cannot directly execute these commands, so what we have to do is we have to create a variable called service name, or whatever you want to give it a name, and then we give this details and mention that variable over here, so that the name will be entered into this variable and that variable will be displayed in the service name column. Similarly for status, let's create a variable called service status and mention this variable into this PS object. Okay, once this PS object is created, we will ask our function to write the object as output. So let's look at the summary what we have created. We created a function into these curly brackets, then we defined a parameter, we created a variable to get the name of service, created a variable to get the status of the service, then we created these columns and the details for that service, and let's see how the output looks. Now first we have to load this function, then let's try to run this command for a computer name, or maybe let's see how it looks. Okay, it says computer name parameter. Okay, we have made a mistake over here. We used a different variable, so we just correct it. Now let's reload the function and try to run it. Okay, so we get the output computer computer name, status, service, and service status. Let's try to run with a different IP address and see you get the computer name whatever we enter over here. Now let's try to optimize our code here. So instead of running these commands twice, what we can do is we can just run it once, remove this line, now when we run this command, the output is status, name, and display name. So we enter this command and get the details into this variable, and what we can do is then we enter the details variable here and give name, and same for status. So let's try to understand this. So if I just execute this one and see what details goes into this variable, this is how it looks. And if I have to access this parameter or the details of this column name, I just have to use this keyword details.name and it will write it as this one. Okay, now this is done for the computers which are online. If we have to add the if-else condition into our function, how do we do that? Okay, let's try that out. So what we do is if condition code else and other code. Now what we do is we test the connection to the computer with a count of 1. If the connection is successful, then only we execute this code, and if the connection is failed, what we do is we create a different output. So the computer name will be same, but here we will mention it as offline and the details will be blank. Okay, so let me summarize what we have done. So we have split our code into multiple ways. So first we test the connection over here. If the connection is successful, we get the details of service and we create the columns with these details: the computer name, the status as online, the name of the service, and status of the service. If the computer is offline, we just create the output as computer name, the status as offline, and this one. Okay, and in the end, after executing this condition, we ask our function to write the output. Okay, so let's try to execute this code now, and let me get for localhost. This is how it looks with IP address. Let's try to give a different IP which is not reachable. Okay, so it gave us the desired output offline, but it also gave some error message. So let's try to suppress that error message, and now try to run this one. Simple enough. Okay, so benefit of using function and PS object is that what we can do is we can directly export the output as text file, let's give it a name output.txt, and okay, let's try to run this and see if it has created the output file. Yep, this one. And we can also convert this to a CSV file, a comma separated file, and create a CSV file let's see that one as well. Yes, the CSV file is created with this one. If you have to exclude the first line, the type information, we just add command over here, no type information, and the first line will be excluded in the output, and you just get the comma separated output for this command. So that is the benefit of using functions and PS object in your script, so that you can export the output in various formats. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.